Hello, everyone. This is John Jenkins here, founder of Battlegans, and so I wanted to bring you a video because today is the Walter Payton Michael Jordan holiday. So basically, it is December 22nd of 2023. So if you add the 12 and the 12th for December to the 22nd for the day, you end up with 32. I'm sorry, you end up with 34. You end up with 34, and 34 was Walter Payton's number on the Chicago Bears. So for those of you who are like born in 2020 in 2043 or whatever, whenever you see this video, so Walter Payton was Chicago Bears running back. He was part of the famous '85 Bears, who actually, so as I was told, the '85 Bears were actually the Super Bowl that they won was actually in '86. So the Super Bowl that the '85 Bears won was in '86, but they're commonly called the '85 Bears. Um, and for those of you who don't know, I was born in '85. So anyway, Walter Payton was the premier running back for the Chicago Bears in the Super Bowl of '86, the NFL Super Bowl of '86, and widely regarded. The '85 Bears team is widely regarded to be the best football team in NFL history. Or at least the best season, even though Don Shula had the undefeated season. They did say that even though Don Shula had the undefeated season with the Miami Dolphins, they did say that the Bears basically were more dominant, or they were either more dominant or they had a more challenging schedule than the 72 Dolphins. So anyway, uh, Walter Payton was some people have postulated that Walter Payton was the best running back in NFL history. The justification is a little bit sketchy because there were so many running backs like Jim Brown and even Lee Priest and uh, O.J. Simpson, and even guys like uh, 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 who was the guy? Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders. Who that's what I was talking about. Barry Sanders. Even though Barry Sanders had an extremely short career, same for Lee Priest. So there were many running backs in NFL history that had much better stats than uh, Walter Payton, but he was tied to that '85 Bears team, which gave him the appearance of being at least one of the best running backs in NFL history. Though you could argue Jim Brown, Jim Brown or O.J. Simpson probably had a better season. Even not Jerome Bettis. Well, anyway, I'm digressing. I'm digressing. So basically, today is the Walter Payton Jordan Day. So you add, it's 34. It's 34 plus 23 for the year. So I wanted to bring this video as I eat these lifesavers. I love these lifesavers. Anyway, so what do you feel about what are my feelings about guilt? What are my feelings about guilt? So I've said in multiple videos. I've said that I've been a victim of gang stalking or Havana syndrome. My most viewed video of the year, I believe, my most viewed video of the year was the video when I talked about my V2K was going away. My V2K was going away, and so so the question is, what do you feel about the guilt that if you've been in gang stalking or Havana syndrome, then you gotta have guilt. And like I said in previous videos, I've done a lot of things in life that I'm not proud of. So what is my feelings about the what are my feelings about the guilt? Well, I think that, first of all, it does get better if you have the right mindset. It does get better if you have the right mindset, and a big part of that is regular self care, like drinking. You gotta drink some water. If you're overcome with guilt, the easiest way to overcome guilt is to take care of your body in a physical sense, not in an intellectual sense or a mental sense, but in a physical sense, or not even in an emotional sense. Just feed your body well. So eat healthy, drink lots of water. Eat healthy, drink lots of water. Reduce your sugar intake. Reduce your cholesterol, or get your cholesterol in line. Obviously, I should say that if you're already diabetic, then you have to follow your doctor's orders as far as how much blood sugar you need, because if you're actually diabetic, you can't just say, "Oh, I'll never eat sugar again," because then you'll have you end up having a diabetic reaction to that. So you have to monitor your blood sugar. You have to do whatever your doctor says. You have to have the exact amount of blood sugar that your doctor says you need. So basically, if you take care of your body, if you take care of your physical body, then you can mitigate a lot of your guilt, and that includes not only eating healthy and drinking lots of water, but you should exercise. That's going to help you a lot when it comes to dealing with guilt. You should exercise, because lifting those heavy weights, or even doing a lot of stretching, or nowadays I do a lot of yoga, and a lot of these exercises and stretching and yoga it'll teach your mind that the easiest path is not necessarily the best. As a matter of fact, it's usually the worst path. I mean, if your life is totally easy and you have no adversity, then you're probably doing something that's going to end you someplace that you don't want to be, with even more guilt. So yeah, so a lot of dealing with guilt is taking care of your physical body. And on the emotional side, or the mental emotional side, the way to deal with guilt is to just be honest with yourself. Just be honest with yourself. Now, most other people are gonna lie to you. They're gonna say that, most other people are gonna lie to you. They're gonna say that you made gain stalking up. They're gonna say that you saw some video on YouTube on gain stalking. And you just decided that's what happened to you. Most people are gonna lie. They're gonna say that you just made up or whatever. But you have to be honest with yourself. If you're honest with yourself and you say, you know, you have to ask yourself what were your true intentions? What were your true intentions? Intention is more than half the equation. Intention is more than half the equation because you can cover a lot of negative. You can cover a lot of negativity if you have the right intentions. I know they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but it's not really. I mean, when they say that, it's usually directed to people who don't really have good intentions. It's usually directed to people who say they have good intentions, but they don't really. So I will say that intentions aren't everything. You're not gonna you're not gonna achieve all your goals in life with good intentions. So intentions aren't everything, but intentions are more than half, at least 51% of the equation. So you need intentions and results, but if you have good results and bad intentions, it's sort of counterproductive, is what I'm saying. So you have to look at what your intentions were, and you have to look at it honestly. Was it really the worst thing that ever could have possibly happened? I mean, when I look at the bad stuff that I did when I was under gang stalking, I was like, is this really the absolute worst that could have ever happened? I mean, um, it's really not the absolute worst that ever could have happened. It's not the absolute worst that ever could have happened, and I learned a lot, and I was able to pull out a really good life, and I was able to accomplish a lot of stuff. Obviously, that doesn't excuse the bad stuff that I did, but you have to forgive yourself because ultimately, well, as Eckhart Tolle would say, ultimately you come to the conclusion that there's nothing to forgive. Ultimately, you know that you have to operate with whatever you have. You have to operate with the knowledge and the level of consciousness that you have, and that's going to determine your outcome. I mean, so yeah, that's all I wanted to say for this video, and it's like 14 minutes long. So yeah, like I said, today is the Walter Payton Jordan Day. There were multiple of those days this year. There were many of those days this year, but this is obviously the last one because we're heading into 2024, and obviously the next Jordan Payton day will be in 2034. That's gonna be a hilarious year. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I wanted to tell you, and don't want to miss this day. I had to put out a video. Thank you very much, everyone, and I hope you have a great Christmas. I've got some videos coming out before Christmas or on Christmas. But other than that, enjoy your Christmas. And if I don't see you before New Year's, enjoy your New Year's. Thank you very much. Goodbye.